Welcome, welcome. Are we live? Let's see. Screen share. Where is it? Good morning, good morning. All right. 4 minutes so we can start looking for this trade setup. Good morning, good morning. Do I have a picture showing? Yes. Okay. All right. So this is the fifth test. Yesterday we tested this trade successfully once again in the Discord in real time. So what are we up to? Is it 5 wins and 1 break even or 4 wins? 5. We're up to 5. We're 5-0 in this trade, right? I believe so. 4 streams and then the Discord yesterday. Okay. I did take it in the side account again so you could see it. The balance has increased. Maybe we're growing that little account. And we certainly are. 3 minutes left. So I made it here just in time. All right. So we got our high to low marked. We got 3 minutes left on this hour, and we can see what we might get today. I haven't looked at the background and all this business. Good morning, welcome. Monday looks to be a miss. Yesterday we took the long in the Discord, unless he's talking about something else. Uh, 2 minutes. What do I want to do with my 2 minutes? Can I look at the background? Am I allowed? I'm going to take the trade for what it is. Where are we again? It doesn't even matter for this trade. We're trending up now. We've seen a bit of weakness off yesterday's high, not too much. Probably I would be looking to buy in a retracement today and get with this uptrend, but, you know, we'll also see what the pound says right now that it wants to do. But yeah, we did 4 live streams of the trade. 1 break even, 3 wins, and then the 4th win was yesterday. But we were in the Discord, and we saw it set up. And I said, okay, here's the entry. So we've yet to have a loss. It happens. I know I say that now and then, just to remind you. Yes, was the long yesterday off the fake break winner. Yes. A pretty big one again. Yeah. This quick no drawdown thing. Pretty good. Yeah, I was thinking about the inevitable loss that's going to take place. It's almost like I want to get it over with, you know? But I'm thinking about managing trades, and here we go. Hour's done. And I'll tighten this up. 3 o'clock is actually this one, and then it goes there. So we have that and that. Okay. And then 3 o'clock here, and then it went one higher. All right, and then there. I was thinking on management of trades, how to really limit the risk. Seeing the behavior of these trades, right, it just works. If it's not just working and something's looking wrong, no reason to let it go to full position stop, perhaps, is one of the options. So, for example, again, thinking about how to limit losses as far as size and how to react if something's not working. So, for example, today, this is actually the high here, right? Yeah. Oh, I'm on the 5 minute, so yeah, okay. So, for example, if we break out to the upside and get the long trade, we already have maybe an issue with a big 5 minute swing stop, but putting that aside, wherever that may be, if it's a breakout and then it turns into a fake breakout, maybe close to partial. You know, maybe that's 15 pips instead of 25 or 30 or 35, just off of the pattern breaking down, right? That's what I was thinking about. Maybe almost scaling out the way I scale out of profitable positions, scaling out on bad information on a losing position. So it's not full stop, full position on the stop. You know, more times than not, maybe on losses. I know it looks all rosy, but it'll happen. You want to be prepared. Plan for everything. What was it? Hope for the best, plan for the worst? Yeah. All right, so we're here. We're looking for this entry. Let me see the 1 minute just to make sure I'm nailing that. Yeah, exactly. It's actually this one, 359, or is it this one? Yeah, it's that one. Okay. All right, we'll see what we get today. Let me just do something 1 second. You're probably seeing black screen. Hold on 1 second. Picture coming back in 1 second. Okay. Four wins and 1 break even. Not a bad way to start. And man, what, 3 of those wins were pretty big? I don't know. Why is my memory so bad? Whatever. It's all live streamed. And then yesterday was the 2 long trades, which they both got at least 70 pips and then some. So you know how it is with this. It could set up right away, or you could be waiting a while. So we're here. It's like fishing. Crack open a beer or whatever you do there. No, don't do that. Good morning, good morning. Black screen. Should we just do that? You all have charts. You can look at your own charts. Oh, okay. Still not getting a face cam, though. See what we get today. It's like kind of dodging bullets here and there because there are losses. I know I keep repeating myself, but, also, if you've been trading a while, of course you know that. But maybe there's new people who are coming across this stuff and like, oh, okay, you just win every time or something. It can get messy. It can get hairy. It can get mean. It could turn against you and do whatever it wants. We have been pretty lucky there. Call it luck, call it whatever. Good morning. So I'll take the trade again on this account. If I'm not mistaken, at the start of last week, this was at 2,100. I don't know. Yesterday, there's yesterday's trades from the fake break. There's my scaling out like a maniac. And then also I took the sell afterwards on the GU because we were talking about in the Discord. And I took a little short scalp on here also. Put my money where my mouth is. But actually, I took a little trade down there on my main account on the weakness that came in on the long trade yesterday. So we took the dollar pound yen long. As it moved up, hit high volume weakness, and then there was a short entry. Then I went to sleep. So pound yen is right there at that level. Let's see. That's the opening level there. Hit it again a third time. We're looking at the 1 minute just to see that detail. That's the third time it hit that level now since the open. Another little failure going on. I didn't check news. I should probably do that. Okay, light news day today, Tuesday, October 18th. No high impact news. What is this late in the day? Oh, tentative. Okay. But yep, light news day. Okay. Tomorrow, CPI pound, CPI Canada. That's pretty big. But okay. Not a crazy news week. And light stuff today. What's up? What's up? Good to be back. I'm tired, but this coffee will hit me any minute. I'll be good. I'm just doing something real quick, but I'm keeping an eye on the charts here. See if we get our entry. All right. Not far. Let's see if we get it. Pop out to the upside, see what we get. Fourth try to break out here, huh? Since the open. Try to break the resistance. Never know what you're going to get. How exciting. That's what makes it fun. Mr. Strange Brigade. Is that a band? Good morning. Drove to work, pick up hour early. Now sat in a frosty car park watching. Question why a bar chart instead of candle? Oh, people ask me that now and then. I just changed for the hell of it. Really doesn't matter. As I say, you see the spread, the high and the low, and the close price. Either way, so it's the same information. Bars can also give you an open price, but I don't need that. You don't really need that in forex. It's going to be the same as the previous close price. But you get the range and the close just the same as candles. I don't know. Got tired of looking at candles. Well, at this point, if I change anything, it's just out of boredom. Now I'm used to them. I like them. But yeah, you're going to get the same information. Candles, bars. So again, tried to break out. This low volume here says it's more likely, if it tries one more time, it's more likely to get out and see what happens up there. Just because there wasn't much selling, it kind of stopped for a second. But either way, it's kind of just flat volume here. It's not saying, okay, selling's coming in and that's why it's not breaking out. It's not saying that off of weakness. It's just kind of low activity, chilled out for a bit. We were seeing that earlier on today, 20 minutes into the session, some strength and some markup style upward movement. And typically, if you're in this phase, so to speak, marking up after strength, and you hit a resistance and you're just sitting around that resistance on low volume, you're more likely to break it to the upside, right? And this is the 1 minute chart, so you can just get a big fat couple of, no supply on the 15 minute there. Strength, and then testing for sellers at resistance is giving a low volume, no supply, so to speak, right? And then closing up would suggest continuing if there's not weakness on that. But, we're on the 1 minute chart looking at details. This is, you back out a little bit, a simple test of supply and so far low volume. They could suddenly show up. Those sellers could suddenly show up here, as we know. But for now, they're not. So typically in this situation, we'll look at it in the 5 minute, but you'll see the volume drop off on that testing. So that bit of information while we wait says selling is not very active. It's more likely to be trying to break that soon to the upside. But who knows? Maybe we sit here for half an hour and we end up selling or buying off the, I wouldn't be surprised if we buy again off a low here and a fake break, right? Because we have accumulation. They could end with a fake break, spring, and then mark up. But what we've seen with this trade is, it doesn't really matter what's going on in the background. Last week it was looking to sell into up moves, and we were getting the up moves on the way there, buying early, and then seeing the drops later. So it all works together. Timing does seem nicer on the eyes. Yeah, it's a little more to the point. What volume indicator should be used? Any broker. I'm using FXCM here. You can see it doesn't hurt to have a couple more to look at, but I'm pretty much confident with that. But you can always put some other brokers up and see the difference. And basically, I like FXCM. This is Awanda. Not as clear, but you see that strength off the low, and then the low volume relative to where we were for the session off the highs. And here now. It looks a little cleaner though, right, on FXCM. As far as the indicator itself, whatever. This one just has some colors, but there's no difference. Basic indicator. This one looks a little cleaner. There's going to be slight differences. I've been using FXM for a while now. But as far as you're saying, any broker, I don't know. I haven't tried all of them. There used to be some that were just bad, and I don't know how they gave their price feed, but the tick activity that was coming from a broker could sometimes be off or smoothed, and you get like very flat volumes. I don't know. I haven't really seen that lately, but who knows what's out there. But this might be a good reference point, knowing that this is reliable. We've been using this FXCM. Oh, on the euro dollar, they look so similar. There we go. And there's the pound dollar. Awanda. Oh, it's so similar. I was on the euro by accident. It's so similar. I swear there used to be bigger differences between brokers years ago. It seems like it doesn't matter now. This is more clear, though. Something about FXCM just speaks clearly. How many? Well, I did 4 live streams. That had 3 wins, 1 break even. Then we did one yesterday in the Discord. So that's 4 wins, 1 break even. Before that, I was testing it for a couple of weeks. And also just back testing visually, but then I started actually taking them. And like I say, it seems like at least, I have to emphasize at least 75% win ratio, maybe 80. And not to be fooled by the fact that we just haven't taken any losses here, because they do happen. Seeing losses multiple days in a row is very, probably really rare. I mean, if you're at 80%, you're almost never going to see 2 days in a row, but it'll happen. I was saying earlier, if we get things looking funny after we enter, there are ways of managing a trade that's going against us. We haven't been able to look at that. Not complaining, but, to document some of the ways you could manage a trade if it's not looking good. I always bring people back down to earth. That's just why, even when I was talking about Bitcoin and cryptos and teaching that, and in the course, like, why are you always talking about the worst thing happening or something going wrong? Because it'll eventually will happen, and you want to be ready. If Bitcoin goes to 20, this is what I'm going to do. And it went to 20, That's retest or just breakout? Sorry, I just read your question now, so I'm not sure what. you're referring to. I've seen you helping people a long time, so I'm sure you've been asked everything a million times. Yeah, that's all right. But is there any rare but great questions people ask that stand out? So give you a good question to ask. Nah. Yeah. What I always say is if you're learning my stuff, you got to just take the time and watch the videos. We do a lot of live analysis. So eventually you'll see everything that I do, and it's a complete picture of reading the chart. It's not particularly VSA or Wyckoff or market structure or this or that. It's just kind of all of it into one thing and knowing what the heck's going on. The 70% win rate, is that for breakouts only or for... Oh, no, just the whole thing. Again, I'm being conservative by saying 75%. From what I've seen, it's probably higher. I haven't run the numbers. Figure I'll do that once I'm officially done testing. I don't know when that is. I mean, I could start taking these trades in my main account also while we do this. And maybe try to grow this account still for fun. Keep growing it. And yesterday the trade was successful. That was a Monday. And I was saying, I don't know about Monday. When the losses seem to happen, if you look back, Monday and Friday. Maybe Monday and Friday is 50-50. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is 85% chance of a win, right? Maybe. Again, to really get that down, you need a long sample size. I was mistaken. It looks like Friday would be considered a loss. Right. Yes. Right. I don't remember what it was, but yes, it was. It would have been a loss, and that's why I didn't trade it. I didn't stream. I didn't show up and talk about it. And I was like, kind of had the sense it wasn't going to be good, and let's not push our luck. Whatever the circumstances was, and thinking out, let's leave out Monday and Friday maybe. And then Monday, it's like, let's see. It was really clean yesterday, so who knows. Yep. So that's how it is with this trade. You got to be there 24 minutes ago and be ready. And then maybe you get a trade right away, and maybe you sit around and wait. We have talked about a cutoff time because the market kind of moves on. And, if we have a situation where we're bullish going into today, I'd be looking to buy on down moves, We're trending up pretty well. I haven't marked up levels and done a thorough analysis, but if you're in an uptrend and you haven't seen enough weakness to start selling, I'm going long on strength. And maybe that's just going to turn into the background playing out. And at what point do you kind of say, okay, this trade, whatever. The funny thing is, it's the same. Well, what would I be doing today? My normal analysis, first thing I'd say is I'd be looking for a fake break in strength to buy. Wrong. Wow. What the heck was all that? Let's try that again. So I'd be looking for this anyway. If it came down and set up there, 5-minute entry. Also, I'd be looking for potential buy, previous resistance turn support, confluence, fib area, strength, go with the trend. Typically, I'm not buying high and late on an uptrend, unless it's a scalp. But if we're talking about the sort of VSA-based strength in an uptrend that you should be staying with and going with for the time being, those are the kind of spots, fake breaks, fib retracements. There may be a smaller fib we can sneak in there. That's what's cool about this. You just have the box 50 to 618. You don't have a bunch of... Well, that's right there anyway. In the same area. This is going to hunt some stops on longs. This already did. Hunt some long stops. There's going to be some more. So, this method aside, my normal method that I have years of showing on this channel and everything, on the course and everything, is pointing to looking to buy unless volume spikes and tells us something else, like weakness, or, if we get here and we're not seeing strength and it's likely to go lower, we look for that and get in with that trend, target the high, target the extension, depending on how it behaves at the high. So, and that's kind of a general analysis for everything. It's all trending up, seeing a bit of selling off the high yesterday, certainly not climactic, and looking for a reaccumulation phase, right? Seeing strength into retracement, and ideally, typically at predetermined levels. Fake breaks, fib, for the most part. So that's just the basic overall analysis for today, what I'd be looking for. But again, the cool thing with the pound trade is if we're looking to buy, for example, low, we may get the short trade to bring it down, get out, and then buy. So it does seem to be okay in fitting it in with everything. But right now we're stuck in the range. Yesterday was the most easiest trade ever. They've all been fake break or break. It's just, yeah, there it is, enter. There's no sequence. There's no strength, no supply. I mean, that stuff could show up on a chart, but for this trade, we're skipping all that. I'm almost ready to say this has to be the easiest way to make money on the planet. I mean, unless you got a lot of money and you collect interest, or but as far as actually having to do something, we'll see if it stays this easy. I don't want to hype it up too much, I don't want to oversell it. So do we take this trade outside of the London hour window? No. Or once we cross the set boundaries? Oh, okay. Yeah, we were talking about that, and I don't think I have a particular time that's a cutoff point, if that's what you're saying. Like, okay, it's been too long, and don't look for the entry. But as we get later into the day, I want to be trading with the background. I'd want to be buying low. That hasn't been an issue, though. It hasn't been like, okay, it's been hours, nothing's happened. Do we have a cutoff point? That's all hypothetical. We haven't actually seen it yet. It just keeps setting up. And whether it's a win or a loss, usually a win, it seems to be giving a setup relatively quickly, within the first couple hours at the longest. But usually in the first half hour, 45 minutes, it's going to give an entry. So that hasn't been an issue. I would say if 3 hours go by, maybe you don't want to take it anymore, but who knows? We're testing it. We're seeing some of these details. Also, some other things to look at is the euro dollar. Like I've been saying, to do that after 9 to 10 a.m. New York time. Somebody mentioned some other things. Mark, if he's here, who had already heard of this trade. Again, I kind of discovered it. I didn't invent it. And there's even other pairs and other times. And somebody was even talking about Bitcoin. I think, was it Rob? I don't know. And that even having a set time level thing that seemed to be working. So, I mean, if there's correlations going on at that time of day, so it could be. But I did look at, if you're looking at the pound and trying this any other time of day, it's not going to be as, accurate at all. Very important, this time of day thing. As I've explained it, there's some logic behind it there. With the London Open activity and then getting the answer. What does it all mean? And working off of high volume activity that seems very chaotic at London Open, which then sort of resolves itself and you do your next move. And in this case, it could be a lot of buying that came into this down move, lack of supply on an up move, and that'll result in breaking out to the upside. As a hypothetical here, we'll see. Oh, coffee is a lifesaver, man. Wow. James Brown. Ow, I feel good. Yeah, I'm back to life. All right, so we got to be patient. But again, I was just thinking, how do I want to manage if I see a loss? It depends how big the stop is. 5-minute swing now, if we seem to have this, if we break out to the upside and put in the stop here, if we get along there. But let's say that stop is at 80, 168.80, and let's say entry is at 169.20. So that's a 40 pip stop. A little on the bigger side, but it's pound yen and it can do these things. Targets are also big, at least 1-to-1. But let's say you take this breakout trade, right? And then it comes back below. Maybe I close half the position here and save myself 10 pips on that. And that only becomes maybe a 15 pip on the loss of half position. And then if it takes off, and once you get past 15 pips, you're into profit. You're in the green. And if you can't get past 15 pips, then it's a crap trade anyway. So you make less if it's sloppy, but you also lose less. Right? Maybe. Makes sense, I think. Again, based on what we're seeing, like we want those clean moves, right? It's been no drawdown. 2 minutes of drawdown, 5 pip drawdown, whatever. So I think if we're seeing something sloppy and we see, let's say, again, we go long, it's a bearish pattern, or we go short on a fake break, right? And we short off weakness, short on a fake break, and then it starts to break out. And you're down 8 pips, 10 pips, 12 pips. Why not close half the position? We know how these things are supposed to act, I think, now. So that's my thinking on that. Trying to prepare for anything. Limit the losses. Again, if you already have a 75%, maybe 80%, again, I'm trying to not oversell this, how good this is, win ratio. And as you see, scaling out, wait until you get at least to that 20 pip mark, 25 pip mark, and scaling out all the way to who knows what, 100 pips, whatever we've been getting. And then compare that with, okay, this is getting really sloppy. The patterns are breaking down, and I'm getting out minus 12 and then minus 35 instead of minus 35 on the whole position, along with the high win ratio, limiting those losses. Again, if it turns into a win, it's a win. That's fine. You get past that little threshold, and you're in the green. And it was a sloppy trade, but you made some money. So we'll see. I think I'll do that. I think I'll go with that probably. Then I don't have to worry about, in this case, if we have a 42 pip stop or something. No, maybe I'll be closing half of that at negative 17 anyway, because the pattern breaks down or whatever. It's a little annoying to do what would be the equation on figuring out your risk. You're basically taking off 25% of your risk by doing that. Yeah. So if you have a 2% risk and you do that, you end up actually with a 1.5% loss instead of 2%. Let's say if you had a 40 pip stop, you closed half the trade at negative 20, and then it went to the full 40, you would be losing 75% of what you originally risked on that instead of the full 100%, limiting losses. So that's an idea. Pete, stop talking about losses. These trades don't lose. Should be thinking about that more than targets. Targets are easy. Winning trades are easy. What do you do when it all goes wrong? Getting caught up on the chat. How long have you had the Discord? Somebody made it. Amar made it a while ago. And it got going, and then I disappeared for a while with my back surgery and everything. But it's been there a long time. I don't know, maybe a year, I'd guess. There's a lot of bots in there. I don't know. It's like hundreds of people, and then 7 people that actually type anything. You're allowed to type in the Discord, everybody. Would New York Open be usable? Perhaps on the Eurodollar. I've been looking at that. It looks dependable. We haven't done it live. I haven't taken as many. Normally, I'm asleep at that time. That's the thing with my schedule. But 9 to 10 a.m. I saw someone comment about Asia Hour open on your strategy condensed upload on YouTube saying it's very fun. Yeah, some people use that, and that got me thinking along those lines and how to deal with this trade. Yeah, some people use that. Looking at it, it wasn't something I ended up wanting to really work off of Asia range. Not like taking a trade off it kind of thing. Being aware of the levels, sure. But I don't know, maybe there's something there. I'm kind of going through one at a time, like this first, and then the Euro, which I can only do sometimes because I'm not always awake at that time. New York session. Using the Asia range, I don't know. It's huge sometimes. It's big today. Where does it cut off? Euro open, which is here. But normally I would have those levels marked and just treat them as support resistance. I don't really trade a strategy off of it. But I know some people do. Mr. David. Yes, we made 125 pips and we're out. Early bird catches. No. Yeah, we're just waiting. No trade yet. No trade. Rob ruined it. No trade yet. Come on, you can't mark up the levels. I'm doing all the work here. Such hard work. Would not mind buying off a fake break off the low. I mean, that was the activity so far today. Particularly the pound yen. This is not London Open spike. This is a real deal. 50 fib zone buy. Large demand coming in. And that would line up with this trade being potentially the fake break there. Now, if it wants to go lower and set up, that's my regular method could get me in that. But it would be interesting to see if this does that. Hopefully on a light news day, there's no issue here and we can actually get moving. Just went back to the middle of the range again. Patience. Somebody mentioned I could put the news on my chart, but I don't want that stuff there the whole time. You get the little circles on there marking the times. But I don't want to be looking at the whole time. I don't mind checking Forex Factory. What's all this nonsense? Oh yeah, I'm going to trade off of this. Pound yen technicals neutral. Oh, you guys probably can't even see that. All right, we're waiting for the entry to set up. Bit longer of a wait today. 42 minutes so far. Oh gosh. How do we kick the people from the chat? Let's see. So we got report. Okay, reported. And now we got there we go. Your reign of terror has ended. Can you just take a trade on your paper trading here in TradingView as well? I don't know. Like demo trade in TradingView? Well, you have to hook it up to something, right? Or you could do the, what's the little thingy where you drew the box with the red and the green? Nah, I don't mess with that. I'm old school, man. I learned I don't mess with that. What is it again? One of these things. I don't know. Trading panel has the default demo there, and then you get a buy and sell simple. Oh, okay. I have no use for that. Rather just do it on an account like a regular, even for testing. For me, nah. The projection today is to pop down, hit strength, and look for a long entry. If this trade lines up with that, that'll be funny, but it really doesn't have to, and it could still give me a long entry besides this trade. I mean, we're here to test this one, and we'll see how that ends up. But generally, I'd like to see a down move in strength for a long entry in these conditions. And maybe we do have some buying coming in a little early before we can get to the low. Little mini fib retracement. Bit of demand early there. All right, so we're being patient, looking for this entry to set up. That's how it is. You got to get there on time, and you got to wait. It's kind of like going to the airport. Strength in the background in some of these early down moves. Pretty strong, nice uptrend mark up to the left. Only a bit of selling off the high yesterday, not too much. That's the overall situation brewing. And this thing we wait, and maybe that lines up. Looking to buy low, who knows? What else to talk about right now? Not much. I don't have the music ready to go. If I put on anything, I'll get a copyright strike, and then my video might be blocked in some countries, so I can't even mess around with music. Some of these royalty-free music videos, they use this music as royalty-free. It's actually a trick. It's not royalty-free, and then you end up with ads on your videos, and they make the money. Dirty! Just saying, because Dave R. asked if you in trade or not. I can see how people just come here and not see the trades you take in your actual account. Yeah, that's true. Which no one else does on YouTube. Does not what? Take the trade on an actual account? They show it in TradingView. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just going to stay with what I do. I don't want to be looking at that on my chart. Honestly, that's the reason. That is actually the reason. I don't want that affecting the visual of the chart. You get this big red box for your stop, right? Big green box, if that's what you're talking about. And like doing anything here besides charting, I don't want to be mixing those two together. That's just how I am. They're all paper kings. Paper kings. That's a good one. Yeah, this kind of makes me want to, like, after this, maybe do some kind of, I don't know, people like to see this stuff, right? It's maybe inspiring. What could we do with a small account? Maybe we go to 3% risk, 4% risk. So we're not sitting here all day for $50, but you know. But I wouldn't want to set a bad example for risk either. Knowing that, like, you know, I'm sort of setting an example. Yeah. 2% max. We'll grow this thing. We could just take this trade on it, but then again, I messed around with a pound short yesterday, and sometimes I mess with it. So, but I haven't made any deposits. Here. There's the green. Oh, -4, -10. I picked off such small amounts yesterday, like a maniac. Some of the earlier trades were like plus $40 on a single closure. Tiny ones yesterday. Because we just kept riding it up, and I just kept selling off a little when it seemed like it was time. But I think it was like 120 maybe yesterday off of yesterday's trade. I don't know what the balance was. So, like, I don't know. Maybe it was at least 5% yesterday. I'm talking about the PL box. Wait, let me send something on Discord. Okay. I don't know. But I don't want to do anything on these charts. I'm doing what I do. I'm likely not going to do whatever you're suggesting. Just saying. Like, it's just how I am mentally. I don't want to see anything to do with my trades on my charting. I know that's weird. I want to look at my trade when I look at my trade or look at my main account, and then I'm over here. I'm a chartist. I'm not looking at those two things together. I don't know. Just what I like to do. I don't want no pip count up here or any extra things. Stuck in the middle of the range to start the session. Almost an hour. But that's how it goes. I think we got spoiled, Just we're getting into a trade. Oh, we're up 50 pips. Oh, we're party time. One more time. Gonna celebrate. Sometimes you gotta deal with nothing, waiting, and who knows. Got spoiled on this. I can't put on music, but I can roll a doobie. Yeah, maybe we should just, I don't know, I'll figure it out. Maybe just take this trade on this account. I won't be messing around with any other stuff. And see what happens. 5% risk? 50% a week? Waiting in hours like an eternity now from run-ups. Yeah, I know, exactly. We got so used to just, it's a vending machine. You walk up to it and you put your dollar in and you get your treat. No. Hello. Welcome to the stream. We're still waiting for this entry. We're sitting in the middle of the range. Our background generally is bullish today, and I'd be looking to buy on down moves and strength. And we'll see if this trade lines up with that, with either a fake break, long entry, or maybe a breakout to the upside on low volume. If it's not something that goes along with the background, well, that's why we test. And so far, that has not been an issue. And if we're looking to go short, let's say, it would be more unlikely because we did have some large buy volume there. Pound, some focused volume down here, pound dollar. More likely there will be buyers here, and it would be a fake break setup to buy. But if the buyers don't show up, and this gives a short entry, it's counter background. But hey, if it goes to 618, you get a quick 25 pips. Maybe you see strength. Maybe you get out. Start to manage it. So I'll go with whatever it says, but we have strength in the background. And I normally would be looking to buy down here. But we'll see what it says. It could communicate the buyers are lower, and we go down another leg and buy lower later, See how it all fits together again today. Because it seems to. Again, some of these trades are getting price while it's going to an area that I would normally look to trade. So you're catching it on the way there. And it could be counter background. And we saw that last week. Buying and then looking for those sell trades later on anyway. So it moves up and then you're looking for the sell and you catch the up move earlier. Sir, yesterday GU and gold gave sell setups. They went pretty well. Yesterday we bought on a fake break. Right? Oh, you're talking about others after that, later in the day. Because there was weakness on the pound later in the day. You must be talking about that. But this trade that we're looking for now, it was the long yesterday on the fake break. So cool. Maybe you got two wins. You bought and then you sold. Where's my chat box? Oh. Later in New York. Yeah. Nice. Shorting would be scary, but hell, breakout long was scary Thursday with the background. Exactly. We were buying when I was, maybe it's just that again. Now we're shorting, and then for the next 2 hours it drops, and then it hits strength, and we get out, and we look to buy. Maybe it takes its time, and the buy setup is in the U.S. session, right? If it wants to just be totally perfect and so nice again, that might be the way to go. Don't be scared. The joke is don't look at the background. Ignore it. After this trade, after you're in it, whatever. But he's got to ignore it. That's the joke. Oh, they're back. I'm getting spammed again here. report. And all that business. All right, waiting for the entry. What's your average return in terms of percentage on your main method? It depends what your risk per trade, and it varies week to week. Normally, I'm looking for 1 or 2 high probability trades a day. If it's I'm gonna need a mod. And you see how I manage trades, so that really varies too. Sometimes I'm getting out earlier, sometimes I'm holding for the whole ride, a long ride. As you see, it really varies. But it's generally, 80% at least as far as win rate. Again, we're talking about that bullseye trade, those 1 or 2 trades a day you're looking for. In this case, would be like buying off strength off a down move. And again, the targets really vary. But realistically, if you're risking 2% a trade, you would think at least 5% a week is on the minimum side. 5 to 7. It depends. Every week is different. If you're asking about, were you saying per week? No, you weren't even saying that. It depends over a period of time. I don't know, like long-term numbers, to tell you the truth. You could ask people that may have traded with me in the live sessions. I don't do like Excel spreadsheets and stuff. I'm not that guy. All I know is I want to limit my risk, and I want my account to grow. And whatever I get, I get. It's not a goal. It's not a weekly goal to get a certain amount. The weekly goal is to limit losses. Everything else is what it is, managed trades. Yeah, here we go. And we got 1 minute left. Now that's a lot of volume. All right, so good. We got something new today to look at. That is too much volume. We kind of knew this, right? There's likely going to be buyers here. That is too much volume to take the short entry. Hasn't even closed yet. See, it's leaning towards buying off strength, like I said. There's likely going to be buyers here. So even if this closes down, and with perfectly nice and down like we like on the breakout, the volume is too high, and that says no, do not take the breakout trade. Looking like it's the highest volume of the session coming in. So we want that to be a buy trade. We want the fake break. There it is. And this guy, yeah, they're correlating. Fib zone almost at support. Okay, so that is an example of not taking the short entry because the volume's too high. No entry because the volume's too high. We've taken a few breakouts live, and the volume was, right, the lower the better, average on the low side, maybe even a slight increase from the recent couple you can deal with. This stands out. It says do not take the trade. You will likely want to be going long. It's the highest volume of the session, so that one's easy. That makes for a good long trade if it sets up. Yesterday, again, we took this, and it wasn't even this high, but it was high. It was maybe like relatively like here, just too high to be looking for the short and looking for the long instead. So we want the fake break pattern, close back inside the range. Yesterday also was a 2-bar pattern, out, in, and off we go. It did not come back down. And as far as these fake breaks go, or double bottoms or whatever here, the quicker the better. The less time you spend outside of the range, the better. You want to be out and back in on high volume. If we were to sit down here, close down here on lower regular volume again, and then go back, it's not as good of a trade. The quicker the better. And yesterday was literally 2 bars on the 5 minute. That's how quick. So that's like a perfect example yesterday. Let's see what we get. Not too hard, right? Even if you haven't been trading that long, this whole thing is not that hard. That's an easy one. We want the fake break. And stop loss, I would allow for another fake break. So if we end up going long, and this is, because I always like to allow for fake breaks on stop losses, even if you had a fake break, to allow for another one. And it's not big pips here if we end up closing in, right, and getting long. So if this is 85, 75. Just if it wants to double bottom and overshoot a little, you stay in it. But beyond that, you're not betting on a fake break. The pattern is broken down, right? So I'd probably be looking at 75 on the stop. That's the biggest you're going to need on this. We'll see if we can close back into range. What else is back here? I didn't draw the fib. I will draw it for this week, first of all, and get that. 618 overshoot. I also want to see Friday's low. Those are the only two that matter. Okay. One of them's a 618 overshoot. One of them's dipping in. This is all generally the buy area. Let's see. Again, this trade may not set up the London hour trade, as I'm calling it. But it doesn't mean lower down that a long setup may not set up. That may still come. That's likely today. But we're testing this, so let's see. Whatever it says, I'm going to do. Oh, they're hitting me again with the spam in the chat. These are different accounts. I keep banning the account and another one comes back. What idiot is going to click on Tinder hot best adult dating site spam? Oh my God. First day on the internet? Okay, fake break. Oh my God. There's no news, right? Oh, there was some Euro news, but light. Why is the yen freaking out so much? Look at the yen pairs, just totally. This is a trap down move to buy in, that we're going to buy into most likely today. This is shaking everybody out of weak long positions that chased price. That's exactly what this is. 90% chance. See, look at the rejection. See, you tend to notice the selling, right? As a newbie chart reader. Whoa, it's selling. Look, it actually reversed. It's also buying. Who's doing what? Well, we already know. Okay, it looks like an entry here. Pound dollar. I told you my stop was, what, 75? That's what I'm going for. Hurry up, let me get in here. So there was a confirmed long entry pound dollar. Let's go, log in. All right, so I'm taking that trade, pound dollar long. Stop at 75 as planned. I'm in the trade. Testing the trade live. Test number, I don't know, 5 or something. All right, so I'm in the long trade. That's a 40 pip stop. And like I said, if we're dealing with losses, maybe I'll look at the scaling out situation, which in this case would be if we end up back below this level, I could start to close partial. If it ends up a winner, you still win. You just win less. If it ends up a loser, you lose less. So I'm in that trade. Stop is at 75. There it is right there. I went a little bigger on the risk. Well, that's if I let the whole thing hit the stop. That's not the plan. I don't want that to happen anyway. We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. We'll keep doing this live. We'll deal with what happens. I want to see it live. The pound yen did not confirm, but it might on the candle close here. Stop loss becomes kind of an issue. Yeah, it's 100 pips stop. Man, what a shakeout, though. Whatever you want to call it. Those yen pairs, again, they're bullish. I mean, that's what we came into today talking about. Those down moves, we wanted, and that's what happens. Whoever is in long a lot will get their stop loss hit, and they're selling off to smart money buyers down there. And so you just pop down and reverse back. Normally, if I'm getting into this trade, I'm looking for this to confirm strength and then also confirm lack of supply, a no supply signal after the strength, right? That's normally the entry. So, but we took this trade following the simple rules. We're in the pound dollar. So in 2 minutes when this closes, if it's confirming the fake break, technically that's a long entry, right? Where do you put your stop? Maybe behind this candle? Below the low of this one bar? It's a bit hairy. Question there. Most of the time, trade setups appear on many pairs, but only a few of them move while others just hang around. How to make sure which pair should be chosen for entry? The first thing I think of is whatever's cleaner setup, I'll go with. Whatever's cleaner helps me make a decision. I'll look at the details with the setup, whatever looks better. Also, you got to think time of day. This time of day, you may be getting more clean pound setups. Pound tends to move euro dollar a little later on. And you can also look at the individual behavior by, let's say, if I couldn't decide if I wanted to buy a pound dollar or a euro dollar, I can go to the euro pound and see how they're behaving relative to each other. I could look at the dollar index, see what that has to say, right, and so on, and weigh it out. Whatever looks better. There's something to be said about clean setups, playing out better than the others. So whatever looks cleaner as far as the details of the setup. What do we do with this thing, huh? If I enter at 5.5, I can get my stop here. It's not below the previous 5-minute swing. It's just, Oh my gosh. That's a lot of volume on that. Does that matter? All right, what I'm going to do is, because it's a confirmed entry, so I'm going to put a smaller risk, and then I can kind of deal with maybe having a bigger stop. It's all about risk, and that's kind of crazy right there with that. Let me go a little smaller. So I'm entering the pound yen long as well, smaller position. So I'm in that trade also there on the confirmation, pound yen long, as you can see there. Stop loss. What do we want to do on this? Okay, I'm going to throw it in at 45 pips. Again, this was a smaller position, so I have a little leeway. I'm kind of trying to do this like it was my real account, what I would do. Obviously, if you want to give a little more room on a stop, you got to take a smaller position so you're not over risking. But that's what I have now on this test account. As far as my positions, you see there. There's my stops. And again, if things start turning, I don't have to let the full positions hit stops. We can look at it, right? We can listen to the chart. But by following the rules of the trade, right, those were the entries. Whatever else is going on in the frickin' world, who cares, right? The entry confirmed. I'm in it. See what happens. Are you doing this live session daily? It's usually going to be Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. But I don't have a set schedule just because I want to do whatever. Feel it out. Whatever I feel like doing. But mainly I'll be doing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It may be Monday, Friday sometimes. I may miss a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. But like I say, if you're in the Discord, I'll let you know if I am or not. Caught up on the chat. Let me see. Yes, step 1 is complete. Now it is complete. Now this is where a snoob trader gets hurt. Now I'm going to pay more attention to how you manage your risk. Okay, good. Like I said, sooner or later, I'm not worried about jinxing or something. I don't know. I have much stronger things than that. I override jinxes, so I could talk about losses all I want. But anyway, no, sooner or later it'll happen, and I will be gladly showing how to manage. And I was already talking about it today. If things start turning against you, you're never going to regret limiting risk. You're not going to look back at the end of the week and go, man, those trades that I closed, that really effed up my week because I didn't want to lose too much on that trade and I closed it. You're not going to even think about that if the rest of your trades, most of your trades are profitable. It's the big ones that you're going to regret. So, like I was saying, one of the ways to manage it is if the pattern breaks down. So now we're long, right? And it was based on the fact that this closed back into the range as part of the factors. Now, if we come back below this support, right, we get a 5-minute close here, that's only half the distance to my stop, and I can close half the position because we just lost probability. Why let it go? And again, if it does end up a winner, you still win. It's just less. So again, sloppy charts lead to smaller losses and smaller wins instead of just a big loss. That's what I'm thinking with this. And I think that's a good lesson for newbies. It's like an insulting word. New traders. Like, God, this guy's just so obsessed with limiting losses. Yeah, that's right. I hate losing money. You got to get to the point where you close a trade for a small loss because it's not looking good, and then you come back 20 minutes later and it went without you and it would have been a win. And you say to yourself, I don't care. That doesn't matter. How was I going to know that? All I could do was listen to the chart. On to the next trade. I'll forget about the small loss as soon as I get a win, won't I? Right? People that have been trading a while know, of course, these things. Limiting losses is key. Otherwise, nothing matters that you do right. Is the fact that the volume on the pound yen bar that broke into the range higher than the previous a cause for concern? It could be. That's a good question. The first thing I did when I saw this was I wanted to see what went on in that 5-minute chart. And was there weakness coming in on the top end of that? And I saw that there wasn't. Second thing is, if it's something of concern, you can wait for the result of that high volume, which in this case is good. It's a higher close. This one not so bad. So the total for that 5 minutes is the highest volume of the session. But if you go to the 1-minute chart and look inside those 5 minutes, it's not showing weakness coming into an up move. It's actually high volume resulting in higher prices on regular volume. Effort result. So it's not bad information at this point. I'd rather not see that. I'd rather see that. The pound yen is a little different where you have a higher volume here. But this is all down low. This is all up, down in the buy area. How are we looking on pip count? +2, -13. Okay. Sloppy charts, lower probability. Yep. You've seen the way the trades have been behaving. And, to sit around for an hour and just look at it all go to shit, I might as well trim it down, right? Yeah. So thinking out loud here, where does this, again, it's really breaking the support that shows the patterns breaking down. It could even hit high volume weakness and start to come down aggressively off of that. Seeing things you don't like way before your stop might be the best thing to do. Start trimming down the trade. That is really what I'm thinking on these. Let's do that next time. I have an easy win today. Let's go. Next time. Let's just get the win. Yeah, exactly. If we can get a close above the 14 EMA, that's going to help the probability. If we reject on weakness, that's going to hurt the probability and see a downward reaction as a result, right? Then you can maybe consider trimming down. But that's fine. Whatever happens here, if it ends up happening, let that be the lesson of the day. How to deal with losses. We had to get to it sooner or later. On the 6th trade, maybe, we'll be finally seeing what to do with some drawdown and some loss. One minute chart detailed information is saying no issue with weakness. You see the buying here off the low, fake break, and we're hanging out up here. We're not getting squashed on high volume and coming down. So it's just sitting there. Nothing bad as far as information off the chart. Even this as well, even though it's sagging down a little bit, it's not off of weakness. It's like, when do the buyers want to switch into markup mode? It's like we went in really quick after strength, and it might take a little bit. We'll see where it goes and manage it if need be. Made a huge wick. Phil likes to fill the wicks. Maybe, maybe not. Sometimes you just get this quick sort of stop hunt on long positions, lack of supply on a test, and off you go. Not necessarily. But, of course, it would have been better if this was a regular candle like we normally see, a regular bar, and then I had my stop below it or something. Yeah. But this situation is a little different. I put a smaller position and dealing with what the chart's giving. This one doesn't have that issue. So stop is below the low. All right, let's see what happens if we're pulling back. Getting a 5-minute close below here may be a reason to shave some of this down. Yes, in drawdown, limiting losses. Let's see what happens. We know how easy and big those wins can be. No reason to take a big loss, sit here with some garbage action going on. Where's my stop on this? At 20. Pound yen is the one I'm a little more concerned with. Smaller position though, because of that situation. Stop loss is at 23. Okay. Now we're at 39. So roughly 15 pips early, I could start closing this to limit my loss. If we close down here, maybe buyers pop it back up. But if they don't, let's see. But this is the first time we've seen a setup in drawdown, first of all, to some any real extent, 33 pips. This is just annoying with the situation here. But like I said, no regrets. I took a smaller position. And I was waiting for this to close, but it's getting near the stop anyway. Let's see. There's not bad information on the chart. That's the thing. There's not weakness. It's probably just taking its time accumulating. You know, typically these things turn around and take a little while. I'll give it till this low until I say things are really not looking good. I mean, again, there's the option of seeing it close below this level that we're working off of to trim it down. But just a few pips lower, we have the close of this, we have the low of this. So we're kind of just giving it a chance of there. And this, maybe a little test of this and continuation. I'm giving it a chance here. Otherwise, I'll start trimming it down. That's my thought process here. Giving it a last chance if it wants to pop back up. I had a feeling today we'd be dealing with this. I came in prepared, talking about what do we do? What do we do? Be ready. They're not all wins. Don't be spoiled. It happens. Let's see. Five-minute close coming up. Is that the same level, whether it's the 1 minute or the 5 minute? Let me see what this level is right there. The close of that, the low of that. Yeah. So again, any lower, I'd likely start trimming down the position. Let's see what we get from this price. Limit the losses, ride out the wins. Unless the chart says close your win, then don't. I'm glad we're getting a realistic picture here for the newer traders. It isn't some magical trade that just all of a sudden you're up 50, 60, 70 pips and you're just going to do it every single day. Nope. We'll deal with whatever the chart throws at us. So we're sitting in this trade. For the first time, we've got some drawdown. It happens. It's what you do with that. It's one of the most important things. Yeah, we got some people in here today. If you're new here, this trade is actually the video that I uploaded yesterday shows the rules of this trade, and then the previous 4 live streams show me entering this trade. Has not been a loss yet, and today, if there is, we'll take a look at how to deal with it. It's like somebody turned the lights on at the party and turned off the music. Like I said, it's good. I want to show how to deal with drawdown. I want to give a realistic picture. No emotions involved. I'm just as happy as... Okay, it's nice to have big wins, but that's after the fact. No emotions involved in the trading. Up, down on the trade, whatever. Gonna celebrate one more time. Rob, so here, red candle giving me anxiety. Now blue giving me relief. See, don't do that. Detach. Well, it's like if you're just kind of a person who gets emotional, so be it, right? As long as you don't take action on those emotions, as long as you don't do anything. Oh, well. I'll sit here and complain and this and that. It's not until I actually start clicking things that any of it matters. I could say and feel whatever. So let it out, Rob. That's all right. Just don't do anything bad. I know. I'm sorry I torture you guys on purpose, because I know once I sing it once with my beautiful singing voice, it's going to be in your head for hours. One more time. Gonna celebrate. Oh, what's the other one? Around the world, around the world. I'm sorry. See, here's the thing. The better my live trade performance tends to be, especially if I'm on streaks or something, the better a trade is going, the more I will torture you. Because what are you going to do? Leave? What, are you not going to come back tomorrow? Oh, this motherfucker. I trimmed on the last candle. Look at the huge up. Oh, you trimmed down your position? Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's your plan, if that's your logic, if you'd like to limit losses, and you're also testing the behavior of this trade and your behavior in response to its behavior, do what you think is right. You could always look back and assess. In the end, trying as much as possible to make it black and white rules, but you have the little leeway. Again, for example, I came in today saying, well, if this happens, right, you break out, you break back in, forget this level right now, you break back in, You take the long trade, and then you're back below. Maybe you close half. Well, then I was going to give it to this little, what I consider a support in a way, because it's the low of this, it's the close of this. That's a trigger number, so to speak. But try to make it black and white rules as much as possible. Struggling here today. Let's see. So like I said, testing it on my side account I use for testing. And might as well show that live too, as we're seeing the growth. You're on a demo for now. Cool. That's totally fine. Took GU trade. Yeah, again, I'm testing this live on this. I'm not even trading this on my main account yet, so. You took GU only. Yeah, I understand that. The yen was a little wacky. What are we doing here? What is this? What are we doing? It's a tiny bit of weight. You see what happened here? This is automatic rally. This is a failed markup attempt. Again here, automatic rally and failure to break. Not on huge volume, but you look at the 1 minute. Oh, that is the 1 minute. Not huge, not a spike, but it failed to mark up. Not really because of weakness. This did show some weakness. The dollar index strength. All right, now we're officially just flopping around, right? At this point, you know, considering trimming this down, these things down, is not a crazy thought. Again, today we're learning how to deal with this stuff. I kind of saw it coming. I don't know why. I just kind of knew. I came in today talking about it. It's not terrible, but it's not behaving at the same time. It's not because we're getting huge weakness, but it attempted a new high ground markup style push, and now we're seeing the result of that. It doesn't mean the whole thing's gone to shit and we're not moving up today, but it means in the near future, maybe not. I could close this at negative 14. That's nothing. Okay. Flopping around here. Considering partial closures here. Considering that. Looking to limit risk. Discord, yes, as soon as I get a chance. I do want to focus on this. But I'll be in there. Still didn't close below range. I think one did and one didn't. This one did not, right? And this one now did not. Okay. Those are lockstep on the previous 5 minute. They closed at the support, but not below it. And there is something to that, coming back below. We don't want to see that. I mean, there could even be, it's not something I really think about, but a test of this before the move up. It's not exactly a pattern I've observed happen a lot, but you break it, you do a fake break, and as you move up, you come to test that same level. Not really. Fake break test continuation pattern. I think I just made that up. Lost the strategy video 3 times. Now you're calling yourself a pro. It's not that hard. This is when it gets, right? Managing drawdown. It's the most work you're ever going to do on this trade. That's what we're doing right now. Saying, when do we start giving up? Or at least saying, yeah, we don't want our full stop hit. Let's start trimming it. At what point? I'm close to that point. These are some long 5-minute candles, man. It's a long 5 minutes we're waiting. Because those closes are pretty informative. I do like to see them close. If I see something going on I don't like, see how the 5-minute closes. I want to see how he manages the losers. I'm going live with it. Okay, cool. You see the thought process here is I'm close to it. Again, we didn't get a close below this level. And that's where I'd start doing it here, as I talked about from the beginning. So we're holding on there. This might do it, right? And then this one did give a close below, but went right back up. So I'm right on the line of having to trim down the position if it goes any lower. See if we can avoid as much as possible. Make it 1 out of every 30 trades. Then ends up just, the full position that you originally went in went to stop loss. Your full position, you didn't scale out. Make that 1 out of 30 trades, right? And then the other 5, 7 losers out of that 30, whatever, right? Make that, maybe if you can get away with 75% of what you shave off 25% of what you would have lost, it does add up. Again, I did a little smaller position on the pound yen than normal on this account here because of that wacky situation there. So you have that as well. With something out of the ordinary. You don't have to go full risk, Somebody's car alarm's going off. How pleasant. Yes, strat is very hard to scrap all my previous setups and indicators. Just start fresh. I had to accept it's better to take only 1 or 2 high probability trades than many slight wins. Yep. I mean, unless you're like scalping or doing something like that. But yeah, generally, it's like I want to hit the bullseye. The best setup of the day. I want to be in that. And a lot of times, of course, you're mapping that out, before the session even starts. Okay, look, I think I'm going to start trimming this down. Let's see. Pound yen sitting at that level, pound dollar below it. And let me open up my window. Let's see. Half. I'm opening up my window to close half of the pound dollar short. Okay, I did that. So now my position on the pound dollar is cut in half. And then my pound yen position to begin with was almost half of what I normally take. So how's that for limiting risk so far? Okay. See what I have on? Normally I was doing 20 or 25 each. 25 each. So you see where I am now on positions? And what was that loss? $10. Wait, is it? Oh, there it is. I'm like, well, I thought it was more than that. $24. Big deal. Big deal. Less than a percent. So there you go. There's my first move. I closed half of this long position because this closed back below. As I said going into today, I had a feeling, man. I knew this shit was going to happen. And the stop is at, what, 75? That's 20 pips early. That's nice to limit risk. If it goes up, it's not going to be hard to still make money on these, right? No. Now with this one, I was looking at this level, right? My stop is 12 pips below. I can, or it'll be maybe down to 11, 10. Close that 10 pips early. So be it. Now I'm talking about a 5-minute close, so I don't know if we got 5 minutes. Oh, did that hit stop already? Oh, okay, I'm out. There goes the stop on pound yen. I'm out of that trade. Out of the pound yen trade. I knew this was going to happen today. It's like I wanted people to see it. I wanted to give a realistic picture that they're not all winners. And what are you going to do? And we talked out a lot of this stuff. Closing that below this level on a 5-minute close, it's just jumping. So that ended up hitting the stop. Well, that's why we have stops. It was right there. Pound dollar. That's 5 pips from the stop, 6 pips from the stop. Now, again, this is only half the position that I started with. That would be hitting that stop. Where is it? I'll put a line where the stop is. 74.9, so that's 75. Whatever, it's right there, basically. So I'll give this a last chance. Again, I already closed half up here. So if the rest hits the stop, so be it. And this hit stop, that was at 168.20, I think it was. Oh, 168.229. 168.23, basically. So if we end up today with a loss of this plus 45, 75. All right, well, we'll see what we end up with. We'll deal with it from there. Okay, good. There you go. That's real life. Let me get caught up on the chat. VB, welcome. I don't think I've seen you. By far the most only reliable, realistic approach to trading I've stumbled on. Good, good, good. Welcome. I'm having a baby soon. Tariq. Hence, I wanted mechanical strategy. The strategy, yeah, right. You're gonna be busy. Can't sit in front of the PC all day. Well, what I remember about the newborn is you're on like 45-minute or 1 hour cycles, or like maybe an hour and a half. It's the changing of the diaper and the feeding, and then they'll get like a 45-minute nap, and then you got to do it all over again. That's what I remember. I had the night shift. If it goes up, do you consider add to the position? Nope. Not on this trade, as far as testing this trade and how I do this trade. No. And basically, I'm not looking to add on positions that are already in profit or things like that. No. I mean, is this a good-looking trade? Do you want to have more risk right now? You look at what's been going on today. Do you want more risk? Nah. Let's listen to the chart. 2 hours. There you go. You're lucky if you get 2 hours, yeah. But I remember specifically in those first like 4 months maybe that she was on this like 40-minute schedule. It would be like 40 minutes of sleep, and then we repeat. Give her a little bottle and a diaper change or whatever. And then she starts with the bottle, and then she was out. And I knew I had like 40 minutes until I had to do it again. I was doing it like 5 times in a row. Oh, gosh. Keep getting spammed. I'm dealing with this spam in the chat today. All right. That last little piece of the pound yen is still on. Small position. 33 pips. Small position. And if that's hit stop, then that's it. Let's see. If you stuck with the trade and went short at the first 5-minute signal, you would have been in the money. No, there was too much volume on that, though. That's, to me, very hindsight. Very hindsight. To me, my explanation of this is the lower probability outcome from this situation. It's all probability. This is the 20% of the time it's going to do this kind of deal. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. I would never in a million years in any sort of strategy take a short on that. Because I know the probability of it moving up after. And that's what we took yesterday, and that was straight into profit. And then the other breakouts had low volume, and those were straight into profit. You know, that's the probability. But that's all it is, probability. But yeah, I would never go short on that. Yep. I don't even think that way because I'm so just, obviously all I can do is react to what's going on in real time on the chart and the probabilities. And if it turns out to be the opposite outcome, I just know that was a lower probability outcome. And I wouldn't do anything differently. This was exactly the long trade yesterday. And that thing just went in a straight line. Whatever it was, 70 pips, bam. Exactly that. And that's going to be more times than not. That's for sure. Still hanging on this, huh? Yeah. Okay. Last little position. But again, I don't know, I'd have to look back at the live streams. I think this was at 2,100 when we started testing this strategy. I have to go back to the first stream and look, but I'm thinking that. And then now this, this is the balance now. Oh, so we'd end up with that. If we close this out, we'd end up with this. Not a big setback. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, we had a loss. Hey. Gonna celebrate. Oh, okay, I won't do it. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Real life happens out of the trade. Minor setback in growth account. We kept it minor. No biggie. Now, maybe I could have, when looking back on the management, maybe I could have closed a little more sooner. It got hairy in there. But there's the thought process. I did close, again, half of the GU early. That ended up limiting my loss now. I also went smaller position on the pound yen than I normally do because of this whole situation with this thing and the stop. So those are the two things I did to limit risk. If I had gone in, right, 25 and 25 on the two and not closed partial, I would have had this would be 24 something right now. It would be, right? So we limited it. All good. If it's 75% profitable, which it seems like minimum it is so far in the testing, you have days like this, no biggie, right? Should be looking good by the end of the week. Once again. One second, we'll be right back. All right. What else to say? I don't know. I feel like I'm supposed to say something about losses and how it's part of trading and don't have an emotional response and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Go look that up. Get over it. But I know everybody knows the deal here where we're testing this live, and today especially because I just knew, I don't know how. I just knew today I came in talking about how are we going to manage losses. So I started off talking about this. I just freaking knew, man. I don't know. You do this long enough, I don't freaking know. Can you talk about risk size? Are you going 2%? Honestly, I have been over risking on this account. I have been over risking. But it depends because we're talking about scaling out of positions. But if I'm talking about my full position hitting stop loss, yeah, it's been more than 2%. So, I mean, really, if I'm like, I started off not caring because I just wanted to take the trades. It's a small account. I'm over risking, whatever, and just see, is this profitable over time? Let's just see. And start with a base of like 25 on the lots like I've been doing. But yeah, maybe we should get a little. I should clean up the risk part of it and do some things properly. If I'm really going to be like, okay, we're growing this account, and here's what I'm risking, and the weirdness of closing half your position at negative whatever, and you're not sure what that might be. And so having a max risk and then working off of that, working down off of that. So, for the purposes of showing the trade, whatever. If we're going to be saying, let's grow this account and keep doing this, then you're right. I should be having a risk plan and announce what that is and how we're going to do, yeah. And that might be the way to go from here. I don't know. Be something fun to do. It's a good learning experience. Get over it. Haha, good lesson. Yes. Never let the market see you cry. Yeah. See, I'm good. Like, my mood is fine because I make money trading. This is part of, pay the toll, man, whatever. This one trade, is already, puts us, way up above what we just lost. It's, it's all whatever. It's just part of trading. I'm so used to it. But again, like, then pops into my mind, like, people that are here that are new and may have risked money on it and whatever. And, it's like, yeah, get over it. The main thing is, as long as your risk was correct and you were okay with you knew what you were going to lose if you took a loss. You were okay with it, and it happened, and you're still okay with it, right? That's it. There's nothing else except bullshit. You over-risked, or you're overthinking, or whatever, Nobody's doing 100% win strategy, so just get used to it. It's not going to change tomorrow if I take the setup. Maybe we should work out a proper risk plan here. But again, tomorrow, like, it's not going to change. Oh, it was a loss yesterday, and I don't know. Whatever, right? That's part of it. Again, it's my small account. How emotional am I going to get? But generally, it's like, I don't care. Of course, yeah, it doesn't feel good, but you brush it off like nothing. On to the next. Go cry to your mother. I remember back in the day, man, damn. Back in the day, there was, when we were doing it on Skype, this one dude was so emotional. And he was driving everybody crazy. As soon as you get in the trade, if it's going into any sort of drawdown, he'd be so emotional. Eventually, I just got tough for the guy. I'm like, man, go cry to your mommy, man. I don't know what to tell you. You got to stop. Like, I got to kick you out. He's like, you're bringing everybody down. Again, normally, like, if it's a bunch of experienced traders, you're not going to sit around and talk about, oh, how do we deal with losses? I'm just saying this for the newer people that have been trading that long. I feel like I should say something at this moment. Try to mold your thinking. It's all good. Risk what you're willing to lose, your trading plan, and blah, blah, blah. Here it is. I'm going to be a smarty pants and say, I told you so. It's going to fill the wick. Hee hee. Did you sell? If you sold, then you get a hee hee. If you didn't sell, then you don't get to hee hee. Yeah, moving on. We have buying into down moves. And if we want to go another leg down and do maybe a fake break here into here, and look for the long entry, that's fine. And that is, what can I mark here? Well, whatever, previous resistance turn support. 618 overshoot again there. So, doesn't have to go that low, but going that low, I'd still be looking, especially right off of fib, fake break patterns. If we do another leg down, we have a level here. We have 618 where a 5 minute could show the high volume long entry. going with the trend, with the background. And that was the plan going into today. I was looking to buy low. So if it's coming down, we'll see where the demand really hits and if it sets up. So I can hang around a bit longer and see what goes on with that. But we did the trade today again, another live test in the vault. In the archives. Oh, you sold. All right, then. Then he. Congratulations to you. Sir, if we mark range 1 hour, there is a breakout of that range and low volume to the downside. It makes sense of trading sell entry. Well, it depends if you're selling now would be against the background, so to speak, as far as my main trading method, which I do consider that. And we're trending upward. We haven't seen much weakness. That's certainly not climactic if you look to the left. And I'd be looking to buy with the background, trade with the background, be looking to buy. It doesn't mean you can't sell. It just means you're ignoring the background and you're taking short of a self-contained little situation. So it depends how you want to trade. Talking about high probability, like the bullseye trade, as I call it. Looking for the best trade of the day, and that would be buying off strength. It doesn't mean there isn't some sort of trade to go short sooner. It's possible. Counter background. And you can run into a situation where, I mean, we didn't really see that, though. Where, I mean, 1 hour is hard to see these details. If you're in a situation where it's not hitting strength, like we saw this strength, here we may see some more. Here's the first time we're kind of not seeing strength. On this guy, right, that got bought into. It could pop down and pop right back up again. It could maybe even not get it, but, and again, the strength here. So this, along with the uptrend to the left, the bullish environment, markup, whatever you want to call it, this being reaccumulation, right? The proper trade would be that. It doesn't mean you can't do other things. But I would want to see lack of demand if I was going short. I would want to see things change and say, okay, there's weakness, there's lack of demand. I don't see that. So I'm not thinking to go counter background. If we had large weakness, lack of demand, then you'd have to listen to the chart and say, okay, near term is actually to the downside. You could look to sell. But in this case, I don't see that. So I'm holding out for the looking to buy low off strength kind of thing still. You're on demo, doesn't matter. That's what you and try to look for. Testing things. Okay, you're on demo. Okay, cool. Three minutes after I started this stream, I said I'm going to manage my loser today. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's freaking weird. It's weird. They'll get me started on that whole conversation. I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm so prepared, like, is it going to be a lot? Is it inevitable? I had all these thoughts. Am I creating this? But I don't know. It feels right. Let it be a loss. Let people see the loss. Let it be okay. Move on. I don't know. I had all these thoughts before I even started today. So weird. It's the quantum world. It's the force. I have no idea. As far as, so in total profit loss, in pips, what's the count? I have no idea. And what makes, again, these things, what I do with partial closing of trades tends to complicate things. You got to do a little extra math and go back and look at the numbers, because if I'm closing out, over time, what's my pip count? I have to add it up and divide by the amount of times I close, and then you get the answer to the pip count. You know what I mean? If you close half the trade at 10 pips, you close the other half at 20, then you count that as 15 pips. or however you want to do, right? So the whole thing gets too complicated. I have no idea. I'm not keeping track like that. Again, testing this trade, it's like, let me just, I'm over risking a bit, whatever, small account. And let me just see if it's profitable just trading it, consistently with at least consistent position size. And then today even going smaller because there was a reason to, based on that benchmark of position size, and just see if the account grows. I'm not getting all into detail like that as far as what's the pip count. Well, let's see the balance go up. I don't know. But you see, it makes it a little bit more complicated if you're scaling out, scaling in, scaling out. In terms of money, yeah, I think you have to go back to the first stream. Again, none of this was tracked like this. I was just like, okay, let's see what happens, whatever. No plan on the risk and all that. I think this was at 2,100 maybe, give or take. I'm not sure. You could go back and look. I don't know. Actually, the first stream, I don't think I showed it, but I took it anyway. I could always go back and see. I got to go through the statement and figure it out. But I'm guessing we made at least 400. I'm guessing we made 400. I'm estimating. And that's like what? 20%? I don't know. Really rough numbers. We made 25% on the account. 20%? Yeah, you get the idea. Yeah, and that's something to move on and talk about if people want to talk about that stuff. Of course, it's totally important to your trading, and it's just not something we tackled with this right now. It was just, let's see if the setup's working and making money. But yeah, as far as making a plan for risk, stop losses, position sizes determined by stop losses, and scaling out when things are looking bad or whatever. So at this point, mission accomplished for today. I'll hang out for a little longer and see if we get maybe a pop down here and a long entry. I would like to see ideally to go long, some high volume strength, a lack of supply, and a normal entry. I'd be looking for something like this, and then a close above the 14 EMA, starting to mark up off lack of supply, and we can get maybe that pattern a bit lower. Doesn't appear that the down move is done for now. Now that we drifting on some low volume drifting down. So there might be a run of buyers down lower to start off an up move, trade with the background. Last question. Okay. Will there be a day where you wouldn't take a trade? Yeah. During normal trading days. Yep. It could certainly not set up. Yes. Not like planning in advance to not trade, because every day, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'd be open to it no matter what. Maybe not non-farm Friday, the first Friday of the month, maybe definitely not. But for the most part, almost every day is fine. Be looking for it. And we haven't had a no trade day as far as doing this live, but that'll certainly happen, where you'll just see unclear answers and times going by, and you say, okay, it's not happening. And no trade is taken because it just didn't set up right. One for the books. Okay, good. Glad it was helpful. So we'd have to take like 3 more losses in a row or something to get back to where we started. 4 losses in a row or something, 5, I don't know, to get back to reverse what we made, or whatever it is. The point is we didn't take a big bite out of the profit. You never want to do that. So pop down, we'll see there's a long entry that I would actually take on my main account. Who knows the timing of that? We could sit around and do that later. It could be a US session that we do it. That's the one highest probability trade I'm looking for today. But as for the near future, these lower prices on low volume say this down move may not be over. Buyers think they can get a lower price, maybe. Maybe we'll see that. Yen. Yeah, they all did that pop down rejection thing. Yep. Not surprising when on a day you're going in saying I'm looking for down move and strength, that they would just, pull a maneuver like that, whatever you want to call it, shake out, hitting the stops on late long positions. That's certainly something not surprising going into today to see that. It kind of sucks, some of them, that you don't get an opportunity to buy down there. That's not usually the case. But they didn't all go nuts. The dollar pairs still have that potential as well. Or maybe we come down again and do get to buy lower. Yeah. Yeah, the yen, you have to say, is weaker after that maneuver. Yeah, you just have to say that. Yep. So that's why I keep eyeing this thing. If I can get long at a nice low price off strength against the yen. Yep, I love the fake break. Because typically, that's why I have it right here. Because it would be a fake break of that. And that's when you just, the last of the last buyers got kicked out. Yeah, it's in the Wyckoff template. Things never change. It's the spring. The up thrust, whatever we say. Do you think that long wick on pound yen is a red flag? Maybe something noteworthy? That's lost lock. Maybe. But it did say strength by definition, and we did go long, so it did line up. I don't know if that's a thing. If there's big spazzy moves to not take the trade, I don't know. I would take it again. Setup is the setup. I trust it. I would take it again. I'm not worried about that. It's annoying on the stop loss because you can't get it below the swing. There is that. Something to see. Low volume test and markup. Yeah. If we see one more pop on strength and then that would be a nice little sequence. Again, the fake break again, like we were saying. No, VB is the answer to that question. It's particular to the pound. And we've seen that on the earlier setups. Again, like there's the euro dollar seems to have the same behavior. If you're looking at the 9 to 10 a.m. New York session open and looking to trade after that hour, 9 to 10 is not exactly the open, but that seems to be what's working, and that's what I've been testing, and it's working. So it's working off, and that's correlated. But particular time of day with particular pairs. And if this works on other things, those are time-based, yeah. If you're trading other things and maybe working off New York Open first hour, and then you're looking at, who knows, gold or what. So, but this time of day, I did look at other pairs. I'm like, oh, this is really hit or miss, except for the pound. That's the one that just keeps the high win rate doing this trade, at this time, yeah. Other pairs, other instruments you could trade, they may have their hour that you want to mark. The problem is I'm just usually asleep at New York Open sometimes, so I haven't tested it as much. One thing I know, strength may appear, but the moves later on there, yeah, that could definitely happen. We're looking at this now, but of course, if we sit around and not do much and then get this later, yep, I'll be looking at it in bed. Set some alerts. That's the trade of the day I'm looking for. Unless volume says otherwise. Like, I don't know what it would take. Very large weakness on an up move. Say, okay, now we're bearish. But otherwise, yep, hunting the long. One more pop down in strength would be nice. So it's 4 wins, 1 break even, 1 loss. So far in the live testing. Oh gosh, the spam is back. Oh gosh, chasing the down move, yeah. It's probably going to do one more little leg down. Scalp it. Especially GU. It's probably going here. That's when, yeah, the last of the undisciplined traders chase it. I can't take it anymore. They start selling. What's up with the euro dollar? Yeah, the best thing we could see today is if it does want to go lower, take its time and accumulate. It doesn't have to. You could buy into the high. We have that. Again, ideally, if we get one more pop down in strength, looking for a better lower long entry. So we have some of that. I doubt we're going to get this low, but just to draw it. That's not a bad short scalp. Honestly, this thing ain't done. Should I take the pound and mess up my records, confuse myself? All right, well, this might get a little boring as we're just sitting here doing nothing. I could always pop in the Discord if this starts to set up at whatever time. Could be soon, it could be in 2 hours. Light news day. Yeah, I'd be looking for a short scalp here if that strength wasn't so far left. It's not the worst, especially the pound dollar. I'm not telling anybody to go short. I'm just talking. It's likely doing this another leg down. Also, if I take the pound on here, well, that's going to mess up my records. Again, euro dollar just has too much strength to the left. Not a great thing to sell into, but it's likely going to get there. All right, so maybe I'll end the stream. We can talk about this if it sets up. Trade of the day, looking to buy off strength on a down move. We're just kind of hanging out now. Looks like we're going to get there eventually. One more pop down, ideally. Nice clean long setup, possible. So we can look at that, talk in the Discord. The link is in the description of the video if you're not in there. And mission accomplished on the test trade today. Okay. Thanks for attending. Looks like we've got a little more viewers than usual. Subscribe, hit the bell. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, mainly I'll be streaming. You stay in the Discord and you can keep up. I'll start letting people know as soon as I know what I'm doing. But that's what I'm looking for, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, pretty regularly. We'll keep trading this setup, and I'm looking for whatever. Do it live. Maybe I'll come up with a better plan for this as far as risk management and keep doing this trade. We'll see what we can do with this account. Maybe that'll be fun, whatever. Good lesson in all types of things if we go ahead and do that. All right, cool. See you guys, likely tomorrow, same time. We'll look for this trade again. All right, guys, and I'll see you in the Discord. Been fun once again. See you soon.